going on YouTube? Pistol Pete here. So today we're going to be going over the Topps Hawk Hellion 2020 Elite. So this knife's pretty cool. It's a straight up survival knife. I mean, like the ultimate survival knife. It's pretty badass. So let's go over real quick and take a look and then give it some testing, see how it holds up and see how it performs. So this is the sheet that comes in. So this is used. I got this on eBay. They are hard to find. They're considered obsolete now, or I should say discontinued. Maybe Topps will bring them back. I don't know, but you can find them now and then on eBay. So keep your eye out on eBay. So it does come in this, the typical kind of sheath that Topps puts out. This vinyl type sheath is MOLLE compatible. Has attachment points here and here. It does have a little buckle here, so you can put your ferro rod striker or your rape whistle or something. Oh, not in the pocket here. Oh, there it is. There's the pocket. Yeah, so, or whatever you want to put in there. A little survivor pack, a fire starter or whatever. And then, that back in there. All right, and so you can see it is kind of just used, about to use, but the knife itself is in really good shape. It does have these two Velcro fasteners, which I personally don't like on any knife, much less Topps or whatever, just because you can get dirt, grimes, moisture, anything, blood in here, and it doesn't stick nowhere near as easy. I prefer button fasteners is the best, but something like this, you can even get a Kydex made for it or your own personal leather sheath. I'll be bitching too on this, so that's up to you. Let's take a look at the knife. Look at this freaking thing. So it is kind of small. It's a little bit smaller in, but it is a light bushcraft knife. It's meant to be carried around, right? And hiking up mountains and stuff. You don't want some big weighty thing. You want something like this that can do everything. Still has the length and the the girth for any type of tasking you've done, but it's not overbearing or not pulling your pants down or weighing you down on your camping or hiking trips, because every ounce makes a difference, right? So I am going to put the specs here. You can read through them, pause it if you want to, see everything in thoroughly, but I'm going to go over them briefly here as well. So you have an overall length of 11.75 inches. You have a blade length of 6.75 inches. You have blade thickness of 3/16, and you have linen micarta handle scales. You have a nice attachment points here for either a lanyard or if you want to make a spear out of it, you can attach something here to hold it in place. A nice saw back here. You do have a bow drill divot right here, so we're going to do some bow drilling with it. I never thought of using that for my knife. I think I would just try other means, like bring a ferro rod striker, put that in that little pouch with, you can use this to strike it with, either the saws pipe will strike it. This is what won't strike it, is because of that coating on it. This is that black coating. But not too bad. It does have a glass breaker, skull cracker, window breaker, I guess you'd call it, on the back here. So it's a nice little attitude adjuster, I guess you call it. And then here you can see there the logoing here. So the Hawk Hellion Elite survival knife. So it is a right here, it's like a not super sharp. It's like 90 degrees sharp right here. So it's kind of a little bit dull. You can see that I can push on it, but it will cut if you need it to. This is to save your main edge. If you want to, you're hitting something like a shell or something or a coconut, you probably don't want to dull out your main edge. You can use with this side. This is sharp right here, and it comes to a point. But you see here, this point, it is a thick ass point. You could tell right there. It comes like a spear type point, so it's thick on all sides. So you got a really reinforced tip there. And it is like a modified Tonto style blade. So you look like that. Looks like it has a bitchin' little Tonto on it. Does have a slight recurve here. So that's going to help catch material when you're pulling through it. Just bitchin'. Oh, and it's 56 to 58 rock hold hardness. So if you want to know that. And again, and I didn't think I mentioned it, but it was in the course. When you read, if you pause it, you'll see too, but it's 5160 spring steel. So if heat treated correctly, which I know Topps does, this thing's going to hold up freaking amazingly, because spring steel, man, it's tough stuff, especially if it's heat treated properly and done properly, which I know Topps does. And you got this little saw back here. I think this is more for notching, but we're going to find out. So, all right, guys. I mean, it's a pretty cool little blade. I kind of like the look of it. I would love to get the full-size one. This little one here is, I mean, it's nice, but it's not really up my alley. Me, I like bigger freaking blades. You know, I'm a bigger dude. I got bigger hands like that, so I would like to have the full size. If it ever comes up, I'm gonna get it. But for right now, I got this little one here, and I'm gonna test it out and see how it goes. All right, let's get to it. Let's start with some 4-foot drops and then some hard downward throws. Check out the balance, see how it flies, see how that freaking fat tip holds up, which I have a feeling is going to hold up great. And then see how the handle, make sure the handle skills don't come loose. And the ergonomics on this feel really good. It feels really good in hand. I could just gripping it, it feels really, really nice. Really nimble, very light. Let's do it. Like an arrow. Man. Yeah. Very nice. All right, let's try some hard downward throws here. Bam. Yeah. Very nice. Man, that's creating craters, man. That tip, that spear tip. Check this out. Ugh, look at that. Who's picking that up? Man, big old craters in the freaking middle. No loosening of the scales. That tip, straight as a freaking arrow. Thing is thick, super thick. Let's move on. All right, let's do a little bit of branch processing here. I got some old, dead hard. This is a plum tree branch here. Let's break it up like to simulate kindling, or if you're gonna break this up to throw it in the bonfire or whatever. Easy peasy. It does have that nice fat edge. Perfect for work like this. Look at that. Man. In twain, son. Check out that edge. Absolutely perfect. No issues there. Held up great. And it is, like I said, it is a fatter edge, so it's going to hold up to a lot more abuse than something more slicey. This is meant for outdoors, and it's performing excellent at that. Let's see how it does a little bit of feather sticking here or some carving. You can go right over this top guard. I kind of like it has dual guards. That's pretty good, especially for like a survival slash tactical knife. It's pretty good idea. Your hands definitely won't slide up on the blade. So I'm gonna put my thumb up here and see how this bad boy does with some feather sticking. Ooh. Easy. Yeah, it feels really good in hand. This is a little bit on the green side, but you can make feather sticks with it. Look at that. Ooh. Not too shabby, not too shabby. All right, let's check out that little saw in the back. If you need to saw off a branch off a tree or something. Now, let me see if I can get like this here. Get the sawing action going. Yeah, so it seems like it'd be better for notching, right? For making like, for your tent spikes or traps or whatever. But that's not gonna work here. Let's try this here. It'd be better on a fixed branch than off the branch, right? Obviously easier, but it does work. Look at that. So you can see there it is sawing into it. If you needed to do a notch for a tent spike, but not too bad, not too bad. Definitely a little bushcrafter. Let's do some batoning here. This is a little small bushcraft knife, so this is something that you're probably not going to want to do any type of really huge logs. I mean, probably could it do it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this could probably bust through some big ass logs. But in my opinion, this is more for like kindling making, right? So if you want to make smaller pieces out of stuff like this size, in my opinion, that's perfect size for something like this. Yeah, I mean, and then of course, you know, you're gonna, if you want to bust through some big, huge round logs, get a bigger, thicker blade, you know. But this is, like I said, meant to be taken in the woods with you. And if you want to bust up stuff like this to throw in your kindling, I mean, to throw in your fire for kindling, and to make it easy. Bam, easy peasy. Okay, let's try that again. A little piece here. Easy, easy peasy. It's gonna make short work of all this stuff. Easy. Let's see how it does with a little bit of penetration here. I'm gonna hit the saddle log and see how far it sticks in. So it is a pretty fat, wide edge here, so I don't see it being a great penetrator. But this is you know, not meant for stuff like this. But I still like to see what kind of depth I can get with this. So I'm gonna do it first in the close grip here, within the little integrated choil, you would say here. And we'll see, and then we'll go, I'm gonna step back here and grab it here and get a little more leverage. Oh. See that? It bounces out because of that fat. It just wants to bounce out because of that fat edge geometry, but still pretty good. Okay, now I'm gonna go back here. Oh man, yeah, a lot more leverage, a lot more leverage. See how far that sinks in? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty damn deep. And this little hook here catches perfectly if you go back like that. Just be careful, mindful of the little thorn in the back there. But for chopping down, man, works really good. Let's see how it does with some hard downward stabs, and then see how it feels. So I'm gonna put my thumb behind this little, obviously not on that, because that'll puncture your thumb pretty badly. So I'm gonna put it right behind it here and stab down pretty hard. You got this guard here, so you know you're not gonna slip up on the edge there. Look at that, man. You got a lot of control. Like that, you got a lot of control. Man. Perfect little knife. I mean, I feel like if you had a stick a pig and you had to go down with it, you got so much control going down. And that robust tip, check out these craters it's making. Hopefully it's picking that up. See that? Look at that. Man, it's creating big ass dents in the in the wood there. Yeah, freaking nice tip, perfectly straight, thick ass tip. The 5160 spring steel. You ain't damaging that. All right, I want to show you this back edge because I told you it's not real sharp. It's like 95%, maybe a little more. So it is fairly sharp. So let's just see what kind of, like, say, if you're gonna hit something, what kind of damage the back edge can do. Yeah, I mean, it's not sticking in, but let's see. You had to use it. Oh yeah. I mean, it's still removing material. You can see there. So it's taken, I mean, it works, but obviously this is more for probably like shells and coconuts, things like that. It's not meant for any type of precision cutting or anything like that. And then, yeah, I think that's it. And then this edge here, let's see if we can do some carving with that edge. Oh yeah. So if you had to, you could even use this, the sharpened part of this tonto here for feather sticking. It's not the best at it. The main edge works way better, but I mean, you could do it. You could do it. Yeah. All right, final little test here. Let's see how this baby flies. It feels pretty balanced. I mean, let's see where the balance point is. Yeah, it's right at the handle, where the handle meets the blade, right at the guard. So yeah, I mean, this thing is pretty well balanced. Let's see how it flies. All right, that concludes my review of this Tops Hawk Hellion 2020 blade, Elite they call it. Long name, but yeah, it's cool little blade, you know. I noticed, the reason why I didn't show too much throwing, I only threw once and it bounced out. I was like, you know what? I think that tip is too fat. Look how fat that bulbous it is right here, which is good. It's good for bushcraft and for prying and for stuff like that. But for throwing, unless you're gonna throw it in soft material, it's not gonna stick good. It's not gonna stick good into wood and hard material. If you're gonna throw it like at a rabbit or some sort of game that you're trying to catch, some small game, yeah, it'll probably work. I mean, it'll probably stick in and pierce it. But that stuff, what I did is I stopped it. The reason why I stopped it because I don't want to mess the knife up too much, and I had a feeling of that. So I laid some carpet down around it. I should have filmed it. I don't know why I didn't film it, but I wanted to test it and see, and I threw it hard as hell at it. And every time it hit, boom, it bounced out. One hit, and it was hitting right on the tip. One hit right on the tip, bounced out and flew back towards me. So I was, oh shit. So after that happened, I was like, nah, this one's not meant for throw. It's too light. That's one thing. It's too light for I'll put the weight again right here, but it's too light for throwing in my opinion, and it's just too bulbous. The front's too much of a spear point. So unless you're flinging this hard as hell, and again, if you're flinging it hard as hell, you better watch out because this thing will fly back and hit you in the face. It'd have been good to get on camera, right? My dumb ass this time around didn't film it. I filmed the one. You saw that initial one. I left that in there because of that reason so you could see. But I was like, let me see if I can stick it first, and then I'll film it again. And if it pops back, but I didn't want to bore you guys with throwing it and having it bounce out and bounce out. So let me see if I can even stick it. And I tried 2 or 3 times, and one of them flew back and almost hit me. So I'm like, nah, this is not really meant for throwing. Even though it looks like it would be, right? It looks like it'd be an awesome thrower with this top swedge sharp and this bottom swedge sharp, but the thickness of it is just too bulbous right here. So, and it's too light. So when it hits, bonk, especially wood, it just bounces right back out. But all in all, for bushcraft, this sucker is badass. And these are numbered pieces. This one here is number 603. So not bad, not bad. This thing is freaking awesome, man. Just awesome, I like it. I mean, for bushcraft, it's freaking awesome. And then the only thing I didn't show was, I mean, you could stab it in. A lot of times you could do like, with drilling. If you want to make a hole, you could put in a log and twist and make a hole in there. But there's other content creators that have done that. You can see that if you want to see it. But everything else I showed you pretty much. Feather sticks pretty well, even with that fat edge. Chops pretty well. It's out of its class a little bit, for the size of it is. It chops pretty well. So it's a pretty good little chopper. The saw has more for notching. It's more of a notching saw. You're not going to chop down a thick tree branch. That'll take you forever. It's better just to chop it like this than to actually sit there and go like this forever this little tiny little rigid saw here. I would prefer just to have this all flat and just forget the saw come together. I mean, but I get it. That's Top's thing. Their signatures, putting little saws in the back of them. So I mean, it is what it is. It's not bad. It makes it look cool. Definitely makes it look cool. But all in all, I like it. The ergonomics feel great. I mean, it melts in your hand. I had no hot spots at all. Look how it just contours to my fingers and everything. It just feels really good. Nothing came loose. Everything feels really, really good. And I forgot to tell you right here, there's a little part that sticks out here. You can see other than this side for hammering. So if you needed to hammer with it, you can hammer in, a tent spike or whatever. And then of course you got the back skull buster or whatever. Yeah, all in all, it's a pretty cool freaking knife. I kind of like it. I like it. I would love to get the bigger version. This one, I might get rid of. I think I might get rid of it. I might sell it. It's nice. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm into the bigger knives. I would love to get, like the full size one of these, but it's pretty bitchin'. I'll have to admit, it's pretty bitchin'. I do like it. I do like the features. I do see how this can be an awesome up in the woods bushcraft type of knife. You could definitely survive with something like this. Oh, I forgot to mention too, it does have pretty cool orange, or is that orange or red liners? Looks almost like a between orange and red. But those are cool. Add a little flair to the knife. But yeah, guys. All right, that's it for this one. Please like, subscribe, share, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.